We're back. Did I put open hours? No, I put after. Alright. If you didn't see the thumbnail, we got it. We definitely got it. Let's go up here. Yeah. Like dropping kick or drop kick, because that would be two different things. And I've heard people say both. Drop kick is a couple different things, and drop and kick is pretty specific. So let's get into this box and see if our panel survives. We're going to compare it to the original because I believe this is a different manufacturer for this one. And as is the case with some parts, not everything is available on Amazon. You do have to source some stuff, actually a lot of stuff elsewhere, to get at least quality parts. So, not a bad panel so far. One piece of cardboard for shipping and a little bit of bubble wrap. I'm surprised it made it, unless it was in another package. Then I'm not surprised at all. Here we've got the original, and then we've got a replacement. Okay, so all we get is a test OK sticker covering that, and literally no info on the panel. I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, made by Chime, maybe? Chime. Do any of these stickers match? That's what I want to know. B156. 156 XW 0101 revision 01. So let's hope this works. They're saying this panel is compatible. I don't think. If it is, it is. If it isn't, well then we'll ship it back. Like I said, it's not going to make for much of a stream either way, but let's go ahead and try it. That's pretty dark, huh? It was me overwhelming the camera. Okay. Understandable. Alright, this laptop, this is going to be fairly easy to test. We're not even going to install it or anything. We do have a few screws that we need to put the panel back in. Let me take a look quick here. You know what? I threw them. We're going to find ones that work, because I threw them into a pile with other ones. So, first, let's test it. Yeah, it's about time to go. So, wrap this up quick. Either way, if it doesn't work, then we know. But they're saying it's compatible. I'm guessing I would know and would be able to say things like this if LCD panels was my business, but it's not. Let's see what the verdict is. Alright. Should we go right? We'll go to the right one. Here. Step a little closer. F2 should be BIOS, right? Good sign. Everything's lighting up. Alright, we don't need the hardware diagnostics. It is initializing. We will let that finish. We do have a few screws to find. First off, let's find... Oh, how neat would that be if that was the case? Where did I leave them? Never mind. They were here. Okay. We'll go ahead and install this while we're here. We can exit the test. Yes, I'm very sure that I want to exit. Yes, we're going to pull the power real quick because this tape is not sticky anymore. And the opening and closing of the lid can lead to that being unplugged. Oh, what a catch. Mid-air catch. I like it. We're going to use a little bit of this. This is like when you want to stick a touchscreen or a digitizer back into a tablet or something. Just basically LED LCD tape. We're going to use a small piece of it too. And I can't do with that. Small piece of it back down so the opening and closing of the hinge does not wiggle this wire loose over time. I don't have any tape to match that. And packaging tape, just a little bit of heat generated from the panel. I've had packaging tape come undone, so we're going to go ahead and use a piece of tape like so, as long as we can cut it. Alright, let's get our tweezers wherever they are to remove our protective coating. Is that the whole? Yep, that was the whole thing. We just need the back. Alright, and there's our protective film. Oh, the great fight with the film. Alright, it is plugged in nice and square. Go ahead and pull that taunt and stick that down. Secondary precaution, not that it matters or needs it. We're going to go with a piece of Scotch tape. With a way to peel it. Correct method? No. Will it build static? Probably. Probably could some way, somehow, someday build up a tiny amount of static. Enough to short out the screen? I doubt it. So, let's not hate on using Scotch tape on a panel. Alright, let's get these other ones in. Pop the bezel in place and fire it up. All this is in for is a screen repair. However, it's getting a few other courtesy treatments while it's here. It is deathly slow. That is not very productive, so we're going to do something about that while it's here. That's for another stream on another computer. Ooh, Yes, protective film. Remove it before installing the bezel. Please remove the protective film before install screen front bezel. So let's go with it. And it peels up the polarizing filter with it. I've had that happen before, and I've even done that. Like, was intent on peeling, like, OCD couldn't, like, have you ever seen the trim they put on new stuff, like on shiny parts of products if they're plastic, or if you go buy furniture, go buy a piece of furniture and it's got metal trim on the fake wood or whatever, and they got that plastic over it. I always have to peel that plastic off. And being OCD about getting that stuff off, I've peeled polarizer filter off of screens before. Let's not make that mistake again. This panel wasn't cheap. Another place we could install another strip of that LCD tape is across the inside back of the bezel. However, the strip of adhesive that is there from the factory or the manufacturer is still sticky, so it's going to have a little bit of tack left to it. Make sure our bottom is locked together, and that adhesive will seal over time. And lastly, we're going to flip it over to right here and make sure that our hinges are snapped together. Indeed they are. This one's missing a whole foot back here, so not much we can do about that. And again, did our very simple repair work? I don't know. We'll check it after the repair too. Okay, it would seem that it did. Successful. We got a broken key ring. Alright, we're going to let this boot up. That's fine there. Something more interesting, we're going out for a few moments tonight to test the RC car. So it's getting its first initial test run to see how it's going to perform. Take the kids out for a little bit, run a battery or two through it. This is just another test screen, so I think we're gonna stash it away. We don't need the bag though. Let's put it in the box. Even though it's broken, it is one of the screens that we do not have, that I could not get to make sure. This one will give us a correct pinout on something like that, and it's also a box that I can put some of our other test screens into. Yeah, we'll sort that. We'll sort that tomorrow, not today. Alright, computer's still booting. Not super interesting. Do we have the HDMI cable plugged in? We do not. Yeah, we won't need it. Anyhow, there is that. It's clearly working, looks good. I'm not much of a fan of the glossy screens versus these matte ones. I've always liked the matte ones. And I would love to know who figures these things out, whether it's going to be glossy or matte. Some laptops you have both options. Like when you go to order the panel, you can order it both ways. In this case, yeah, we could get both. We went with what the original had, which was a matte. But yeah, who figures this stuff out? It seems unimportant, which is why I'm asking who sits down and figures out this unimportant stuff that you can get the panel made in either finish. I want that guy's job. Or gal's, that gal's job. Alright, gonna be a short one today. The plan that I had did not work. Should we go over it? We can go over it quick. We can go over it quick. We'll let that sit off in the background doing what it's doing. I was only missing one piece for this plan, but anyhow, I was going to go over different ways. Let's get that slightly further off screen. Alright, there we go. I was going to go over a few different ways if you want to get into creating content, either video, but more specifically audio. Say you want to do online stuff, podcasting, or even video, the cheaper way to do it. And if you want to expand an audio operation into, like a podcast, into a live stream with also the podcast. I do have a few of the things that I wanted to talk about and go over. However, it was not a vital piece to creating content, but 100% a vital piece to one of the parts I wanted to present. So maybe we'll do a recorded video of this stuff, that way I can edit it and make it a little more polished, not stutter and sound completely dumb about it. This is just the interface that I use at home for, even though I don't really need one. I don't do much recording. I think I've done one or two. I think one actual live stream there and no actual recording for videos in that. I mainly use the Mix Pre over there, which you can't see. It's by far the best audio equipment I've ever owned. So it's from a pro sound company, and they make consumer level stuff. So awesome gear. This little cheapy Behringer, this is like 30 bucks. So if you want an audio interface and just want to barely get into, I think this is like literally $29-$30. It's the Behringer Euphoria UMC 22. I'm pretty sure it's like $29, maybe $32. You don't have a lot of options. However, if I'm not mistaken, you can get into doing a mix minus with this with the proper cables. So if you wanted to do a recording where you have somebody call in remotely, or have somebody call into a phone, call in on the computer, it's all real possible with hardware and software. And you don't have much into it. If you just want to avoid the audio interface and go with something a little cheaper, then you get a mic that also happens to be a USB microphone, which functions as its own sound card, has a direct headphone output. But I will cover all this in a future either live stream or video, depending how I choose to put it together. But yeah, you don't have to have whatever it was at time of release. I got it a few months after release. It wasn't brand new, but you know, a $900,000 audio interface mixer / recorder. You don't have to have something like that. You don't have to have all kinds of crazy gear. You can get in for, you know, $70 or get a cheap $20 microphone and interface. But we'll cover that at a later date. Thanks again for tuning in. Lots of stuff to talk about, just most of it not work related. So perhaps I should film those videos instead of trying to do live streams about them. Anyhow, it's time to go test the car. We're going to ensure this thing is up to snuff for the live stream. Going to have some fun with it. I am going to put some headlights and tail lights on it, being when you're on the throttle, the tail lights will be dim. When you let off the throttle, they'll brighten up to simulate brake lights. Whenever it's on, the headlights will be on. Turn signals, I don't know that I can do that with the remote for the actual car. We're going to have legit fun with it, so make sure you tune in to see that one. And thanks again for watching. This is a quick repair. We got the panel installed. It's working good. There is a picture there, defect free. There were much more expensive options to buy this panel. just offhand, I think $50-$60 for this panel. And the more expensive ones were the actual Inolux brand panel, not the Chime that I believe this one is. However, most Chime panels that I've seen in the past do at least have, at the bare minimum, a sticker on them saying Chime. This didn't even have that, so unknown at this point. But yes, there's that. That's working. We're going to do a little bit more to this to make the owner of this a little happier, at least, other than the broken screen. It's unbearably slow at this point, so yeah, we'll take care of that then. Tune back in again tomorrow. It'll be Thursday. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a live stream yet. I have a couple ideas though, and a few options here, so maybe this. Maybe we'll get into this. This is an Xbox One S. That is a definite possibility, but we'll find that out tomorrow. Have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is one of those. Wherever you are, enjoy it, and thanks again for watching.